previewing this game. So obviously the way last game ended, Jawaan Taylor didn't finish the game. As JD mentioned, Wanya Morris played his ass off. Chris Jones, and I think everybody in Chiefs Kingdom was very scared about that when everyone thought possibly Achilles. It was not. Ended up being a calf strain. To what degree, I don't know, but he didn't practice today. So yeah, just based on the injuries that we have, I'll kind of quickly go through them real fast. So on the injury report, we have DJ Humphries did not practice today, dealing with a hamstring injury. Chamari Connor concussion protocol did not practice today. Jawaan Taylor injury report, limited participant in practice on Monday. Creed Humphrey on the injury report with a shoulder injury, but he was able to fully participate in practice. Mahomes fully participated. Justin Reed, back injury, full participant. Nico Remigio, full participant as well. Joshua Williams, ankle, but he practiced as well. So, obviously, JD, last week you mentioned don't put Patrick Mahomes in harm's way. Don't play him if you don't need to, right? We have Carson Wentz. Now, what I want to ask you, do you feel the same way when it comes to Chris Jones, DJ Humphries, and Jawaan Taylor? Would you not play those guys if such a short turnaround?
I do. Look, you're looking to go deep in the playoffs, and this is something like you don't want your best defensive player being hurt, nagging injuries. Chris Jones is the most dominant defensive tackle in the NFL, and you need him. The Chiefs' defense needs Chris Jones. There's no bones about it. There's no question about it. 95 needs to be there. So if he's not ready to go and he needs rest, give him that rest. Other guys can step up. There's some things Spags can do to help out. Now, obviously, you need to stop the run. Next guy up, who's going to be able to put those things on his shoulder? Is Charles Minhu that guy to come and do what Chris Jones is able to do? Does he warrant a double team? Well, Turk, you got Pennell. If Chris is out, we got some of those guys from the practice squad that come in. Was a Tualap? I can't think of his last name. He didn't dress out for his last.
The guy we just signed a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, him. Yeah.
Sika, Ika. I can't pronounce his name, but Ika something.
Something like him. Guy we just got here, the one that we've been looking to get something done. Can he get that thing done? Chris Jones is a force, and without him, passing gets affected, run game gets affected. Everything we do defensively is affected by 95. Okay, and how good can you be? How dominant can you be? And so, obviously, with the offense that they got, Russell Wilson, Pat Fuhrmeyer, you're talking about, Warren. You're talking about, is Pickens going to play? That's another question. We don't know. How bad is his hamstring? Okay. Is he going to be ready to go against the Chiefs? And so Mike Williams is out there. So it's going to be a tough task. They just lost this last game, and they're going to be ready to. They're almost they got to win this. They got to shoot. So they're going to give it their best shot. They're going to give it their best shot. Not to mention what they're going to give us against defensively, against our offense. So Mike Tomlin is one of the most experienced, best coaches in the NFL. So be ready. Be ready. But if Chris Jones is, hey, man, is it a way that he can re-injure us right now because it's not fully healed? Don't even chance it. Don't even chance it.
Have you had a calf strain before? I've had calf strains before, but you think you're good, but then in the middle of playing, I've had calf strain. And I went to go play pickup basketball a couple days later. First few games I'm fine, but then midway through it's oh no, I can't run right now.
Yeah. The soreness and stuff like that, especially like you said, the short turnaround too, that's the tough part. That is the tough part. So we'll just have to see.
Yeah, and he ain't playing pickup basketball. He's throwing around with other 300-pound dudes up there.
Well, it's the exposure, the burst markets. That's what it is. And so you could really, really injure that calf even more. It could get worse. So you don't want this, like I said, lingering until the playoffs.
No.
It's not effective. So
no. I mean, from what I've read, severities can range from a week to maybe a month, depending on the severity of the strain. I don't know what the severity of the strain is. Because, I mean, for those of you who don't know, strains are an element of being tear. So, I mean, it could be a small tear within the calf. So, I mean, that can be a big deal, just depending on how severe the strain is. And, guys, we're doing a promotion with Underdog. If you guys go to click on the link in the description. We're giving away up to $1,000 in bonus cash. You must deposit at least $1 for first-time users only. And these are our 5 picks that Tasia and I went with this week. So Jaylen Warren over 61.5 rushing and receiving yards. Jaylen Warren has gotten over this number 6 of the last 7 games. Pat Freiermuth, this is an interesting one, over 29.5 receiving yards. And 14 of the 15 tight ends we face this year, 14 of the 15 have gotten over higher than 29.5 receiving yards. Russell Wilson, over 12.5 rushing yards. He's done this in 3 straight games. Xavier Worthy, over or higher than 43.5 receiving yards. He's done this himself 5 of the last 6 games. And then the Steelers have given up to the number 1 receivers in the other team over or higher than 43.5 receiving yards 6 of the last 7 games. And then finally, Harrison Butker over or higher than 1.5 field goals. Looking at the last 7 games for the Steelers, 5 of the last 7 kickers have attempted 2 field goals against them. So 5 of the last 7 kickers have attempted 2+ field goals in games. Elevate above your heart, as they say.
Who's that? Oh, yeah.
Rest, ice, and elevate, and make sure you elevate above the heart.
Russell got beat up last week. Mobility may be in question. We'll see. We're going to come after him. Know that. Uche. I don't know. We'll see. Uche going to get out there.
So on the other side of things, you have the DJ Humphries aspect. And I've seen a lot of Chief fans love what they see from Joe Thuney at left tackle. And DJ Humphries obviously dealing with the hamstring injury. If he's not practicing, potentially you may sit him another week to make sure the hamstring is fine, because that's another muscle that can be reactivated pretty easily. Those tend to do that. Now, do you stick with Joe Thuney another week just because it is such a short turnaround?
If you need to. If you really, truly need to, go ahead and use it. Because the D-line ain't no slouch. We know these jokers is that he's something serious. And we going back to back against pass rushers, great defensive linemen. That's what we've seen. That's what we've seen these past few weeks. So if Joe needs to be over there at left tackle, so be it.
Yeah, it hasn't gotten easy. There has been no stretch of easy games as far as protecting path and these high-flying edge rushers, man.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Do you think Jawaan Taylor plays? Obviously, he was a limited participant today, and he left the game early.
I don't know.
Would you play him, or do you feel as strongly as resting him as you do with Chris Jones, or no? I mean, he's a limited participant.
Yeah, no. If guys are hurt, man, and you have, possibility of re-injuring, no. I don't think put anybody in jeopardy. If you can go, you'll go. Let me put it that way. And that's how we deal with it. The coach asks you, man, can you go? And a guy let him know, like, yeah, I can go. Well, coach like, I'm not. You ain't gonna have none of the guys on the Chiefs gonna lay down. They're not. And so it's like Patrick Mahomes, when I'm sitting over saying, hey, look, it's a high ankle sprain, right? Only Pat knows his body. He knows how bad it is. He can sit there and say it. He'll know if he can go, and he can. And like Andy said, he's gonna be truthful with me. And so we've seen it. Go ahead, get the vitamin T in you. Go on and loosen up, right? Lather up, and let's go. So, is Jawaan Taylor? We'll just have to see.
And I will say, just based on your grades, where you kind of mentioned how Wanya looked good when he went in there, you have an adequate replacement for Jawaan Taylor. If Jawaan Taylor is not 100% there, he showed last week that he can, that Wanya still hasn't forgotten how to play the right tackle spot that he was so good at Oklahoma,
No.
what he showed last week.
Yeah. So got a capable guy to play tackle.
Yeah.
We're not out of anything. We got a guy.
Yep.
So
and
they did a damn good job.
Yeah. And TJ Watt's banged up too. So I mean, it's not like, and of course 75% of him is better than most, but still.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So
yeah. All right. What's Uche's issue, JD? Do you think just not fit? If you had to make a guess,
I don't know, man. If I had to guess, they're not getting out of him what they expected. And yeah, maybe the fit of what they ask him to do, they're like, maybe not this week. So where he shows flashes of maybe having a good pass rush, maybe he's not showing enough of it. And they're saying, well, look, we're going to go the other option. That could be it. That could be it. So, I mean, you go out there on a football field, you got to be a terror. You got to be a terror.
Yeah. I mean, it goes to show we've talked about it before in the past. We want us to go get like a pass rusher. Guy just does that. They've never really done that. They always like the guys who kind of do it all. Uche seems too one dimensional for Spags, I guess.
Well, like Alder Brown said, I think Uche doesn't fit the 4-3 defense. Oh man. You can almost say the same thing about FAU.
And we're not really seeing him out there.
No. Or Malik Herring.
Yeah.
So, Spag's going to utilize guys have purpose for what they do when they come in there. He's just not going to have him come in and like, all right, be the guy. You got to show him that you got to fit. You play defense, you got to fit. Sorry. Well, I'm usually good in the 3. No, that's not what we ask you to do. 4-3, we need to see it. So show him.
Yeah.
Chief fan 211. That's why I see what we're going to draft.
Another year, another pass rusher.
Don Peters, they all think they've got how to play when they cash their checks. I mean, shoot, I don't think some guys. I mean, some of them guys just not making big checks like that though, Don. Sometimes you just ask guys to win. You got to win, man. You just got to win and win consistently. Consistency is the key. Kathy Welch, great stream. Thank you, sweetie. Merry Christmas to all. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas, Kathy.
Dappy said, I know, I'm just teasing. Yeah. So,
hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.